All right. Good morning. Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? I'm a little bit far over today. There we go. So, yeah. Good morning. This morning, we're seeing some interesting stuff going on. As you guys saw yesterday, Walmart came out. I know, Josh. I wish I was on. I wish I could get the green screen going. Me walking into the Champions Club, walking into the arena. As you guys saw yesterday, Walmart guided down, which is not a good look for everything. A stock like Walmart, a consumer staple like Walmart, showing concerns and guiding down full year profits is not a good thing. That is not, that's the last company I think that you want to see say something like that. If there was any company that could withstand this type of event or this type of economy, it's Walmart, right? Walmart should be the one that is able to come out with positive news in this type of environment, and Walmart's the one that's starting off the guide down. So yeah, it doesn't instill confidence for sure, right? That instills pretty much no confidence for any future, for other companies. And I would assume you guys start to see a lot of this. You're going to start to see a lot of guide down. I would absolutely assume that at this point. we'll see what happens. Maybe there's some companies here and there that are outperforming Walmart, but in my opinion, Walmart should be the name that is not doing this, and they are one of the first. So yeah, interesting. You can see that it's bringing down the rest of the retail sector. This is very similar to what happened when Target guided down. If you guys remember that was about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I'm not sure exactly when that happened. Maybe 2, 3. I don't. Let's see. I don't really know the exact time that happened, but I remember the day. I'll tell you that. I do remember the day. I made a lot of money on Costco puts that day. That was back in May. So about two months ago, you guys saw or remembered Target guided down, and that caused a very ugly day for retail. It was everything. It was Target. It was Costco. It was Walmart. It was Dollar General. Dollar General. What else was there? There was BJ's, which is another Costco type company. So retail got hit pretty aggressively, and it looks like that was it 5 months ago? Regardless of when it was, maybe that was the earnings that I was looking at. Yeah, regardless of when it was, guys, it was somewhere along these lines on Target. You can see right here. I'm pretty sure it was right here. This is a huge gap down. I'm pretty sure this was the guide down here. This was earnings. Maybe it was around here. I'm pretty sure it was around this time period back in May. But anyways, that guide down caused a lot of retail to drop, and you guys see the reaction this morning. You're seeing Costco drop, Target drop, Amazon's getting hit, even Shopify is getting dropped off that. So interesting. Definitely want to watch that today, guys. That's definitely something that's going to be on everyone's eyes to see how retail performs today. Another thing that I want to point out is what Walmart said. They said they're seeing a drop in consumer discretionary spending. This means that people are spending less on unnecessary goods and focusing only on necessities. That means that the people are slowing their spending on unnecessary things. So keep that in mind, right? Remember that. That's a very key thing that Walmart said. They said it. Here's their direct quote, guys. Their direct quote was Walmart shares. Well, this is a summary of what happened. Walmart shares fell after the company cut its profit expectations as inflation forces shoppers to spend more on food and less on electronics and other discretionary categories. So keep that in mind, guys, right? I'm not going to think you have to think for yourself on that one, right? Where does that go? People are spending less on discretionary goods and more on their necessities. So that's something to make sure you remember for this market, right? Also, on top of that, right, what else sort of happened yesterday? You guys saw the intense strength in the energy sector. We talked about this yesterday. Someone actually asked me this question on stream yesterday saying, what do you think about energy? And I said that I think energy will find strength again in this market. During this uncertainty in the market, it seems like energy is the hot spot, right? And energy had a very nice day yesterday and is still pushing higher right now. So energy is the second thing that I want you guys to focus on today. First, we look at retail. Second, we look at energy. Energy definitely is showing strength, and it's doing it again. Yeah, energy could be a very nice little quiet bounce, maybe some upside over the next few weeks. If we start to see some weakness on other sectors, does money flow into energy again after a very nice drop? Definitely showed it yesterday, and we'll look at it today. So that's my little summary for what happened yesterday. You also had some very key breakdowns on the Nasdaq and the S&P, or not quite on the S&P, but on the Nasdaq that I want to share with you today. So let's go ahead and get started. If you guys want to give me an early like, go ahead and scroll down, press that like button. Help me grow these streams. Help me grow the channel. That would be much appreciated. We're getting close to 50,000 subs. We're getting real close. What are we at? Let's see. Let's see what we're at real quick. We are at 49,200. So we're 800 subs away. That would be awesome. I'm planning on doing something pretty cool for you guys at 50,000. Definitely going to give back to you guys that helped me get to this point. So thank you guys so much for all the support. All right, let's go. 7/26, that's Tuesday, July 26th. Futures economic earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and take a look at the earnings calendar real quick. We did have some earnings report this morning, which were pretty good. They were good reports from both McDonald's and from I think Coca-Cola did pretty well also. GM was not great. So we had UPS, Coca-Cola, GM, GE, McDonald's, Raytheon. Those are the big ones. I'm not going to go through each one of them for you guys here, but we can quickly go through them when we get started. But that's what reported this morning. Tonight, after hours, we got the big boys. Alphabet, Microsoft. Those are huge. That's huge for the tech market. That is going to give you some insight as to where tech wants to go. Alphabet and Microsoft will 100% influence other tech names today on their earnings. So if you're swing trading any kind of tech stocks that are not Alphabet and Microsoft, you need to understand that they will get affected by these earnings. If you're holding an Amazon play, if you're holding an Apple play, if you're holding a Tesla play, a Meta play, any kind of large tech, you are going to get affected by the earnings after hours today. Okay? Make sure you understand that. You have Visa, Enphase, Chipotle, Texas Instruments, and then tomorrow's a new day, right? We'll look at this every single day. So that's the earnings. Economic calendar is pretty light today, but it is going to get heavy here after today. So you can see pretty light today, just some new home sales, consumer confidence index. So we'll get a little bit of that this morning. Watch out for 10 o'clock. That's during market hours. Tomorrow is when it gets pretty heavy. You got Fed funds target. So we're going to see what they raise, or we're going to see their target. And then we're going to see Fed Chair Jerome Powell right here, 2:30. So we're going to see their target, and we're going to hear from Jerome Powell. Very big, very important, going to be market moving. And we got jobless claims, GDP, and then you guys know we got the PCE index, real disposable income, real consumer spending, and nominal personal income, nominal consumer spending. So tomorrow, economic calendar gets pretty heavy at 2 o'clock. Let's keep an eye on that. That is that. Yes, yesterday was very choppy, Luke. Yesterday was very choppy. For me, you know, here's sort of how I judge my days trading, right? Yesterday, I couldn't get anything going. And if I can't get anything going on a trading day that is choppy, I take that as a win. I'm very happy with my trading yesterday. I didn't make any money. I lost actually, you know what? At the end of the day, I was green because of a swing trade that I'm currently in. But realized I was down about $70. I ended the day green because I have an unrealized position. But realized I was down about $70. And when I look back at the Nasdaq yesterday and I look at my P&L, I can find confidence because there were some opportunities yesterday, but they were very difficult. They were very choppy. It was very undecisive. And for me, that's a win. If I don't lose a lot of money in a choppy market, that's a win. I know that I will be able to make money in a market that is a little bit more trending. Yesterday was not a trending day. It was lower. It sort of slipped lower. The overall trend was down, but it was a very choppy and very slow move, which is not great for options. I would disagree that futures had good downside yesterday. You can look and see that it was down, but there was not very many periods of very strong continuation. There was this period here during the day, late in the day, but it was pretty choppy, guys. I mean, there was downside, I will agree, but for the continuation, it was pretty difficult, right? You get a lot of pops here and there. You got maybe this one was okay, but you get popped on there. You get a big pop there. So the continuation was tough. You get downside here, but then you pop back to the highs. So it was pretty choppy in my opinion. You guys could, disagree if you want, but it was definitely difficult. It was definitely difficult. It was more difficult than a nice downside day. It wasn't continuation. It was sort of chop. But obviously there's opportunity every day, right? I can't say there was an opportunity yesterday because there was. There is always. But, sometimes it's easier than others. All right, let's continue. So we're going to look at Tesla. We're going to look at Walmart and the rest of the retail names around it. We're going to look at Apple. We're going to look at Amazon. We're going to look at XLE to the upside. Very strong energy yesterday. Nvidia 170. Coinbase breaking down. Also some SEC news coming out about Coinbase. Something I'm watching. And then Roku. Roku got a downgrade this morning and is breaking an uptrend. Something I want to watch as well. So after that, we'll look at your tickers that you guys want to look at. And we will get out of here. Let's get started. So what happened yesterday, guys, on the Nasdaq? what happened yesterday? Very clear, right? I was talking about this all day with the chat. There was something that was very clear, that was very telling yesterday. And I'm going to show it to you right now. This was very telling intraday yesterday. So, this is the 30-minute chart, and this is the Nasdaq. You guys can see that we dropped in the morning yesterday, right? We got that drop in the morning. We came back up and pushed to the upside. Where did the market push back up and fail yesterday? This was everything. This is all you needed to pay attention to yesterday. All right, we talked about this zone. 15-minute chart. Look at where the market pushed up to and rejected yesterday. Right here. Boom, boom, boom. What is that right there, guys? What is that telling you? This was everything to me. This is what sort of gave me confidence that the upside would be limited. You can see downside on the pre-market early morning, pop to the upside. Where did it reject? Right at 12.4. If I could, I wish I could find, I'm going to try to find it real quick. I don't want to waste your time. Let me see if I can find it. There was a really nice bear flag forming yesterday. I'm not gonna. I'll maybe post it in the Discord, but this was basically just a really nice bear flag forming. I was sort of posting this in the chat during the day, and it really worked out beautifully. So you can see right here, we got the downside, the really slow upside. Look at the volume declining the entire upside move. You got a bear flag that formed here intraday, and then you guys can see what happened, right? We got a bear flag on low volume push up to this rejection point, 12.4, previous support into resistance, boom, bear flag. Tried to push up into it again, boom, rejected again. So, what is that telling you? Guys, that's what is that telling you? If previous support is turning into resistance, that is telling you that there is weakness on the market, right? So you can see previous support, into a rejection intraday yesterday, bear flag, downside move, and you can see we're starting to just sort of get weak here. So, very clear, guys. You need to get back above 12.4 if you want to look for upside. If you are not above 12.4, I would not look for upside now. Why? Because you have a previous demand that is now turned into a supply. You have turned this demand zone right here into a rejection point. You can see it yesterday. So if you move back into this level, now we need to be concerned of downside. Before, right, yesterday before open, we were looking for this, right? We were looking for that bounce off demand. Now we're looking at a potential rejection point here. So that is a clear shift on the Nasdaq that we need to make sure that we are aware of. Next, if we zoom out, we can see that this 12,250 level, if we drop this 12,250 level, right, this is going to start to drop. If we drop this previous bounce here, you guys see right here, this is 12,250. If we drop that level, we're going to start to get some downside. If we get some downside here, I would assume you move to at least 12,2, 12,185, these previous highs here. So, definitely looks weak, guys. You're making some stair steps to the downside now instead of to the upside, right? Before you were stair stepping to the upside. You can see that, right? Here's a stair step, stair step, stair step, stair step. Now, what are you doing? It's very clear, stair stepping to the downside. So the trend has slightly changed here in the short term. It's only 2 days, so we can't trust it that much. We can't like get all in on puts or something, but we definitely can see that the trend has shifted. As always, I will remind you once again, earnings after hours today, Google, Microsoft can make all of this change, right? Somehow Google comes out with some stellar earnings. Microsoft comes out with best earnings ever. Let's just hypothetical. This could go like this, right? Totally possible. I'm not going to say that that's not possible because it is. But does that happen? I don't know. I can't answer that question. But we need to at least understand as traders today that just because we see these technical breakdowns, just because we're seeing support turn into resistance, does not mean that Microsoft and Google earnings cannot cause for the stock market to go like this. It's totally possible, and that is what we have to work with when we're around earnings season. We need to make sure we understand both sides of the trade, make sure we protect our risk, make sure we protect our portfolios from very drastic movements that maybe you aren't anticipating or the charts are not showing. So Make sure you understand that. 12,350 to 12,400, new rejection level. Downside support, 12,250 to 12,200. If we drop into that zone, watch out for downside. You're in a little bit of a range right here, right? You're in a range between 12,350 and 12,250. So watch out for that, guys. That's the most important thing on the Nasdaq. ES, it's all about 39.50. It's all about 39.50, right? Mr. TNT, you seem a little bit biased, my friend. I don't want you to. I understand the downside is pretty clear, but you're getting a little biased, regardless of earnings and economic sentiment. I don't want to. I don't. Regardless of those things, is a little bit questionable. You got to at least take them into consideration. We don't know we don't know what earnings are going to say. We can't just say that Google's not. There's no chance that Google and Microsoft earnings push the stock higher. I know it's probably a very low chance. Totally understand that, guys. I'm not delusional to the fact that the macroeconomic picture is not good. I get it. But you can't just ignore, you can't just say, I don't care what it does. There's no way it goes higher. Like, I get that it's probably a very small chance, but you can't just pretend like it's not there. It's a very dangerous way to think. All right, anyways, hourly chart on the ES, 39.50. That's what matters. You guys can see it right here. If we drop below this 39.50, then I would look for the downside, right? If we drop that 39.50, then I would look for the downside, right? You guys can see this level. It is very clear. And yeah, if you drop this, then you know what's coming, right? It's very clear. If you drop this 39.50, you're going to move down to the 39.20. If you drop the 39.20, then this is going to be, I mean, I could totally see that you get, this move back down to here, right? You could totally see that. Just making back that entire upside move. So you guys can see that, right? You can see support, 39.50. And you can see that, right? That's the level to watch. Yeah, my money would be bearish too. I totally agree. I'm not saying don't look for downside. I'm saying make sure you understand make sure you play these plays with the understanding of both sides. Right? You can be maybe a little bit more bearish, but you can't just ignore that there's possibility of some crazy stuff happening. Right? I would never trust. I have trust issues when it comes to earnings season. Right? I'm not going to play puts on a tech name through Google and Microsoft earnings without understanding that I could get totally crushed on these put options if Google and Microsoft come out with some better than maybe anticipated earnings. If they try to flip this script, right? We've seen that plenty of times, right? Maybe the expectations are low. Maybe Google comes out with better than expectations and somehow the stock goes up. Happens. It's happened before, right? So why not put that into your analysis? Keep that in mind to protect yourself. So anyways, 39.50 clearly there. You guys can see right there, 39.50, that has to hold. That's really it. That's all that matters. If that doesn't hold, then you're going down. All right. You guys can see right here, 31.7 on the Dow. That's sort of your 39.50 level on the Dow. You can see, look at that, ES 39.50. Same thing on the Dow, 31.7. You can see it's the exact same type level. If you break 31.7, you're moving lower. That's everything, right? Very clear. So watch 31.7 on the Dow, guys. That is the must-hold level. If you break that 31.7, you're moving lower. RTY, you guys can see right here, 1800. Pretty much the same thing as the 39.50 level on the Russell. So ES, 39.50, right? YM, 31.7. Russell, 1800. These are all intensely important levels that I would definitely be watching here for breakdowns. If those breakdowns come, guys, you're going to get some downside. Absolutely. So keep an eye on those levels, and then 12,250 on the Nasdaq. Must watch levels today. If you guys want to get these charts every single day in a text format, check it out down below. It says free technicals. Join that Discord. All right, let's continue. So guys, I am in some Tesla puts. I swung them overnight, and there is some pretty good reason for it. I posted my analysis in the Discord if you guys are interested, if you're in that Discord, in the Options Insider. But you can see that Tesla is down this pre-market down to around 796, under 800. I'm looking at this 792.63 area. You can see right here, this is the previous high from June 2nd. June 2nd, you had a high here of around 792.63. You can see it right there. You pushed higher, you broke above it, you rejected at that 845, 850 level. That's very clear rejection, perfect rejection right here. Right? Look how perfect that was, right to that next level, rejection. I think you're going to come down to at least this 792. At least the 792. And then if it drops below 792, I'm looking at around that 780 level, back to these previous highs here. So I'm basically just looking to play Tesla to the downside, back into this zone, and then I'll be taking my profits on those put options. So very nice. Caught these pretty nicely yesterday up near, I forgot when I got in. I think I caught them around like 8:15, up around this area. Was sort of watching this bear flag, right? Was watching the bear flag on the market. Saw Tesla starting to reject. And I was watching this very key level right here, around 810. So I was sort of monitoring this 810 level. This was a shelf that Tesla created. And I'll show you exactly what made me confident on holding this. I'll show you right here. You guys see this rejection of 810? See that? See that pop and rejection of 810? What was this rejection of 810? This was previous support, previous support, previous support, previous support, previous support, previous support, rejection. Turning all of this support into a rejection. Boom. All right? Very confident after seeing that. Downside is nice this morning. I would look for around that 792 to 780 level. So watch that, guys. Very nice, very clean. And I really like that 810 level right there. That rejection right there was pretty much everything that made me confident in holding this overnight. And you can see the continuation is sort of there. So swinging Tesla contracts in that face, yeah, it was based off some pretty clean technicals. So, you know, and with proper risk management. So whatever you want to think about that, it's a pretty clear play in my opinion. Anyways, Walmart. Let's get started with the craziness. So here's the 4-hour chart. I remember we talked about this level yesterday. This is I wish I would have just taken puts because of this level. Without, obviously, this is not what I would have expected by any means, but I definitely wish I would have taken puts because of this rejection. We talked about this rejection yesterday on the stream. Talked about how we had a previous low here from February, and we had a rejection point coming in around 132. You can see you have this bottom here around 132 back in February where we bounced off of, and you can see we pushed into it, talked about that rejection. Now, obviously, the drop is not because of technical analysis, right? I can't put this one because of technical analysis. I wish it was, but it's not. This is a fundamental macroeconomic reason that Walmart did this. Just total waterfall. So, yeah, if you took Walmart puts based off technicals yesterday, then bam. I mean, that's the best thing you could ask for. But it was not. It was based off Walmart guiding down on their full year guidance. So I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I'm going to show you something that's pretty questionable, but it is interesting to see. I'll show you right now. 1 second. So if we go to the flow on Walmart, so look at this. This was 20 minutes before close yesterday, guys. 20 minutes before close, you had about all of the same option contract, the 729, 130 puts, all the same, probably all the same person. 7:50 or around 20 minutes before close, you had just about 2 million. Just about 2 million in 729, 130 puts coming in on Walmart. About $2 million, about 20 minutes before close. That is interesting, to say the least. It's crazy. So someone obviously knew this was coming out. Yeah. Someone obviously knew that was coming out. To buy $2 million in puts 20 minutes before close is something that is quite interesting. So congrats to them. I hope they stay out of jail, because if they do, they're going to probably be up at least 20 million today, I would say. Those contracts will be up about 1,000%, maybe more. So 2 to 20 million probably is around what it's going to be at. We'll see what those open up at. Actually, let's see what they bought them at real quick. They bought them at around 70 cents, guys. So see what the 130 puts are at today. They bought them at 70 cents. They bought $2 million worth at 70 cents. Check out what the 130 put is worth today for this Friday expiration, and you will see how much they made. They bought them at 70 cents, and they bought $2 million worth at 70 cents. So it's going to be a good day for them. So anyways, that's Walmart. Now let's look at what else moved down because of this. So the first one I'm looking at is Target. Target is obviously, goes hand in hand with Walmart. Target is a little bit more discretionary than Walmart, in my opinion. So definitely watching that. If you guys see this is what I'm looking at today. You think 2 million is a lot for contracts? I don't know. Are you like a billionaire? Is that why you say that? Are you flexing on us because you have billions of dollars that 2 million is not a lot to you? Anyways, some silly people in the chat. Anyways, you can see right here 152 on Target, guys. Right, this was a previous rejection point. And this was where we broke out of. You are back below this 152, right? If you cannot get back above 152 today on Target, then I think you're going to see this downside come in. I think you're going to see the downside come in, continuation of it in the downside because of Walmart. So if you go to the daily chart, actually, you know what? We're going to go to the hourly. Zoom out here. So you can see right here, previous rejection point, and then you have some previous support in this area. So if you get this and you can't get back over 152, if you think Target should be where Walmart is down here at the yearly lows around 140, right? If you think Target gets towards that level, then you're looking at around 140. You need to know some bigger traders. What? Oh my God. Oh God. Anyways, 152. I need to hide the chat. 152. See that rejection. Look to the downside. I would look for Target for continuation. All right. What else? Costco. All right, we're gonna get him out of here. Okay. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, yeah, I get that $2 million is maybe a small amount in the world of the stock market. But what he must have a big, one of those big ones. Must be very large. So Costco. That's another one I'm watching off this downside, right? Costco, look at what's happening. You see this downside. You can see the pop to the upside, and you can see this rejection right here. You can see this previous support. Look at what Costco's doing right here. If Costco breaks down and does not get back above the 515, right, then I think you're going to see downside here on Costco. I think Costco could very easily drop to this 503, right? Look at this 503 on Costco and look to see if you can get that downside to 503. That's what I would be looking. So you can see Target drop below a major support level. You can see it's starting to reject it and look to the downside, right? You can see Costco. It is breaking below a major support level, and it is starting to reject that support level. It is starting to reject the 515. So I am most definitely going to be looking for Costco and Target for continuation today if that retail sector starts to bleed out even more, right? We'll see what happens. I'm not sure you're going to get continuation, right? You could very easily see some sympathy bounces here. You have to watch the price action as the market opens. Don't just go buy puts at market open because Walmart had bad guide down, right? You might see some bounce here after a pretty extended downside move. But if I see a rejection at 515, then I will look for downside. If I see a rejection at 152, right, off any type of bounce, then I will look for downside, right? That's what I'll be watching. We'll look at Amazon in a second, but those are the main two retailers that I wanted to look at. We'll look at Shopify as well, but I think those are the main two that I'll be watching off Walmart, Costco and Target. I want to see how those perform today based off of Walmart's guide down. All right, Apple. So Apple, I just like to look at it because it's a pretty nice proxy to the market, and we want to always be watching to see what Apple does. So you guys can see you have a rejection here at 150, 150. And you can see we got back above it. We rejected that 157. And you can see that right here, you have this rejection and you have this rejection. I'm looking to see, does Apple turn this into support, right? Does Apple turn this area into support? This previous rejection point, does it turn it into support? That's what I'll be looking for. So Apple down to 150, 150 today. This level must hold. If Apple does not hold this level, you can draw something like this, right? If you see this, right? If you start to drop this level here, you're going to start to test this uptrend. And if Apple earnings are not good, this is going to get ugly, right? Totally possible. You know, either way is possible here. But I would watch this support here, this previous rejection point at 150, 150, and then I would look to watch this uptrend. If you start to lose this uptrend, things are going to get a little bit interesting, right, on Apple. And that will definitely influence the market, guys. Apple is the largest part of the S&P 500, which is the overall stock market, which means that Apple basically runs a very large percent of the market, and you have to be watching to see what Apple is doing. Okay. So what's another stock that caused that move to the downside because of Walmart? What other stock moved to the downside because of Walmart? Amazon, right? Amazon. Now let's go to the 1 minute chart. I just want to show you guys what it looked like. Here it is, pretty nasty. Boom. Walmart came out. Amazon drops to the downside. Pretty ugly. Now, where is Amazon holding? Amazon is holding right here at this retest level. So you can see we dropped below this level. You can see we had support. We dropped below that level under 121, and we got the downside off of Walmart. You can see we came back to the next level right here. Previous rejection, turning into support, right? Rejection into support. So today, I'm not going to be so interested in Amazon puts because I see it at this demand level, right? I'm not so confident I want to chase the Amazon downside here unless the Nasdaq really starts to get hit today, which is possible. I'm not sure I'm going to chase Amazon downside based off this demand zone here. You can see previous rejections. That's why I wanted to focus mostly on Costco and Target because I see the downside, right? I see the downside here. You see this Costco pretty quick move to the upside. I definitely see the opportunity for downside there on Costco and Target. On Amazon, I'm a little bit less confident because I see the support here, and I can see that you are holding this previous level. So a little bit cautious there on the Amazon side, guys. I would just really focus on this 117 area. This is going to be a tough level to break under, I think. Unless the Nasdaq really gets crushed today, of course, right? So just keep an eye on that, 117. Not saying you should go long off of it. I would just say be careful looking for the continuation in that demand. I would rather look for something that doesn't have much support below. Amazon has that support. Costco does not, right? Costco has no support below right now until around 503, 504. Okay? XLE, guys. XLE. This is the hot spot. This is the hot spot right now. The fire is burning on the energy side. I want to show you guys something that's extremely nice that has happened here. I'm going to zoom out. I sort of wish I trusted my gut on this one. I really have been looking to go long XLE off this drop. I just sort of never did it. So, I mean, I think it's still there, but, you know, it's definitely showing it now. So, you guys can see we got the big drop on energy, right? We're all aware of that. Big drop on energy. Where did it come back to? Right back to these levels. Perfect. I mean, perfect pullback. Right back to this previous support. Right back to the demand at 65. Clean. Very clean. You can see it bounced right off that level. The second it tapped it, boom, straight to the upside off that level. Now, here is where things get confirmed. Here is the confirmation that you needed to see on XLE. Obviously, this is in hindsight now, but I want to show you guys the confirmation that happened here on XLE as to why this continued higher. Do you guys see these previous highs, right? You see these previous highs right here. All these previous rejection points on XLE, around $70 a share. You can see rejection, 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 rejection. Very clear right there. Now, if I zoom into this chart and we look at, you guys probably already see it. I hope you do. But you can see this, this, and this. What is this? This is a break of that previous rejection point at 70. This is a retest. This is turning the previous rejection into a support right there at 70. That was everything, right? This is the trade you're looking for right here. This was your confirmation. Get back above the 70 level, turn it into support, make a higher low, break and retest, turn the rejection into support, and continue higher out of it. Very clean stuff right there, guys. Obviously, I wish I caught this. Looking at it now, it's very, easy to see in hindsight. I really wasn't focusing on this at the time. It would have been nice if I could have a little alert saying XLE, break and retest of 70, bull flag, previous support into resistance. I wish if I would have knew about it, I would have taken it, I think. But that's the part of trading, right? You have to be looking around, finding things that's good setups. This was a great setup. And you can see the upside out of this flag, out of this retest. Very nice. I think XLE pushes up to 77, in my opinion, guys. I think you should absolutely retest this 77. You can see right here. You can see right here. This is what I would be looking for on XLE. A push up into 77. If you break 77, there's going to be more upside. If you break 77, you are going to get some very quick upside, in my opinion, on XLE. Why? You can see this downside, right? This downside is pretty quick. I would assume it moves up pretty quickly as well. I like XLE as well, Dustin. I think it's a sector that will catch steam again. It's a sector that's up 30+% on the year. I think this is a very nice little bottoming formation coming in. And yeah, I definitely do think that there is more here. So I would absolutely be watching XLE this week, guys. This week into next week. Definitely XLE should be on your radar. And if you want to play an individual stock, CVX, XOM, Oxy, right? All looking very, very nice as well. So definitely keep an eye on XLE here. Yes, I do hold my shop shares still. I have my shop shares at 33. So I'm still up $3 a share on them. Oh no, I'm about break even now. Oh, okay, yeah, now I'm break even. Yeah, I own 50 shares at 33. So it looks like, it looks like that's unfortunate. Yeah, this news out of Walmart, and I guess the news this morning, whatever's going on here, shop to lay off 1,000 workers. Wow. Yeah, not good. So I'll probably have to sell those for break even or maybe like a $50 loss. Yeah, Shopify got hit off that, huh? Yeah, Shopify getting hit here, guys. So watch that. Yeah, I own 50 shares of Shop around 33, I believe. Let me see. Where do I own them? $33.86 is my average on 50 shares of Shop. $33.86. So I'm down right now about 20 cents off 50 shares. So maybe, what is that, $10? So yeah, I was up like 200. Now I'm back to break even. All right. XLE, Nvidia. So Nvidia, I'm watching this 170 level. 170 level. Why am I watching 170? 90 day, 1 hour. Let me show you 170 here, guys. You guys can see we had a previous rejection here around this 170. Right here. We had a nice support form at 170 right here. Where else did 170 come in? Back here, right? 170, 170, 170, 170. So 170 is clearly an important level on Nvidia. Now, if I go to the 15-minute chart, look at what it's doing today. What will I be looking for today? I will be looking for this flag pattern to set up, bear flag into 170, reject 170, and move back to the downside. This is what I'm looking for today. I think this looks very clean. If this sets up, you have 170 previous support into a rejection level so far this morning. You're creating a bear flag. To me, this is a beautiful setup. So I am absolutely watching Nvidia here off a 170 rejection. Love it. Really like that. If the market cooperates to the downside, then I would definitely be watching that. All right. You're getting downside on crypto. You're getting some SEC stuff about coin. It's a whole mess for Coinbase. But you can see Coinbase is now at a very, very key level. You can see Coinbase is right back into this previous support. It was rejection, rejection. If you fall below, I want to say it's around 60, really. Like that's the main level is 60. But it looks like these previous highs came in around, let's see where these previous highs came in around. These previous highs came in around 63, 63.50, 63.70. So I think that 63 level is still pretty important. And you can see right here, you can see it's trying to hold this green box. That's my demand level. So if we start to drop under 63, under 62, right? If you start to get this downside today, look at where coin could go. Right, if you go right back below, sorry, Thinkorswim sometimes doesn't let me zoom in. If we drop right back below this 63, guys, I think you're going to start to see some downside here. So watch out for that. Watch 63 on Coinbase. May be a nice little catalyst for downside. All right, last one I got for you is Roku. I will pull up the upgrades and downgrades this morning. This is something I share every day in the chat. So this morning, hold on one second. Okay, here we go. This morning, this is just the downgrades, upgrades from Interactive Brokers. Downgrades, we got Roku, we got MicroStrategy, MSTR. Is that MicroStrategy? That is, right? MSTR? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, MicroStrategy downgrade. We got ZS downgrade. We got Crocs price target down. Lulu price target down. Nike price target down. Initiate, sell, and hold Roku. So you're getting some downgrades on Roku this morning, which is very interesting. Obviously, I think it probably deserves a downgrade. Not a great stock. Don't understand its business model at all. Don't understand how it's still a company personally. All it is a smart TV box that is on every TV anyway. So it's very strange to me. But Kathy Wood keeps buying it, so GG to her. So upside on Roku right here, you can see this little uptrend. It's starting to break, right? Look, it's starting to break. So if Roku cannot hold this uptrend, I'll be watching this 82 area right here, and I'll be looking to see if this thing wants to play back down to the lows of 75. Roku downgrade, break of uptrend. If you break this 82 level, I think you're moving back down to the channel low around 75. Something I'll be watching. Not my top watch today, but definitely something that will, I'll keep on the back burner to see what Roku's up to today. All right, so that is what I had for you today. Now we're going to look at some more stonks. We're going to look at more stonks that you guys want to look at. So here's what we got. We got MATX, Intel, right? INTC, is that Intel? CRSR, Costco, Walmart, Netflix, RTX, Dollar General, Snow. That's what we're going to look at. Let's go ahead and get started. Unless any of these are penny stocks, I'm not looking at them. All right, MATX, Matson. Not sure what this company does. By the looks of it, I'm going to assume it's energy. Industrial. So they had earnings, it looks like. No, a few weeks ago they had earnings. I'm really not sure what sector this, or I guess it's an industrial name, so it's a little bit tough for me to say the overall sector strength for you. But I would say this stock is pretty damn sideways, and I would be very cautious trading it in this zone. Between 84 and 94, whoever put this on the chat, I would be very cautious of trading this through this zone. You can see it right here, a lot of chop in this level. So I would not want to trade it into this chop, guys. Be careful trading it into this chop. Biggest in Hawaii, marine small cap, shipping company in Hawaii. Okay. All right, cool. So yeah, I would just be careful of trading it in this chop. Between 94 and 84, watch out for that, right? Watch out for this choppy area. It might be a little bit tough to get through there. Look at what's happened in the past, guys. Don't expect this move, right? This is an anomaly. This is just a big anomaly. So I would forget that this even happened. It's just going to probably chop between this range. All right, Intel. Intel is about flat this morning. You can see we had a little bit of a pop to the upside. You have earnings coming up, guys. I'm not going to really do too much analysis on stocks that have earnings. It's just not worth my time. It's not worth your time. Earnings coming out, wait until the earnings come out and then look at it. It's just not worth doing analysis on a stock that has earnings. Corsair Gaming. I mean, you guys see the overall trend. I mean, Corsair, I think, is a pretty good company. I mean, they still put out a lot of stuff, but obviously the stock is just not really a stock that has any type of interest, really. The volume is non-existent. The downtrend is clearly there. I mean, nothing's going to change, guys. Downtrend's going to continue. Costco. We looked at Costco. I would look for the break and hold below 515. 1-800-Flowers. I would look for the rejection of 515 here and downside to 503 on Costco today. We looked at Walmart. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix, look at what Netflix is doing. I was actually going to put this in the chat today as well. But look at what Netflix is doing, guys. It's very clear. Previous support, what is it turning into? Previous support, or probably previous rejection, previous rejection, previous rejection. What did it do here? It turned it into support. What is it doing now? It's turning it into rejections. So I would look for Netflix. Honestly, if the Nasdaq gets really weak, I would look for Netflix back to 207. I don't think any of this is going to hold Netflix up. Maybe some minor stuff around the 212, but yeah. I would say Netflix back down towards 207 if it stays below this 218 is very possible. If the Nasdaq gets weak, of course. RTX, Raytheon, they had earnings today, I believe, in the pre-market. EPS was a beat. Sales was a beat. They affirmed forward 2022 guidance. So it seems like a good earnings from them. Stock really didn't move off of it. And the stock in general doesn't move much at all. So let's look at this daily chart. I mean, Raytheon, yeah. I mean, Raytheon's that type of stock that you guys buy as a long-term investment because you want to have exposure to this sector, right? You want to have exposure to the sector, and you look for that type of exposure in a stock like this. But for me, the stock just doesn't move enough. It doesn't have enough volatility here, I would say, to trade options on. I mean, it moves within like a $4 to $5 range, and it's pretty hard to tell. I would say it's just following this little trend here. So, my opinion, if you see Raytheon back at 90, you look for it to buy, right? You look for a buy back at 90 at this point, right? If you come back to 90, you look for that buy. If you're at this level here, To me, it looks like a possible rejection point. You have a downtrend that has rejected once, rejected twice, rejected 3 times, rejected 4 times. So I would look for the downside on Raytheon off this downtrend, just looking at it technically, and I would look for it to trade back to 90 if you're trading this downtrend right here. Okay? Yeah, Dollar General, it reacted to the downside off of Walmart. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Not like Walmart, but it did drop a little bit. Here's what I'd watch, guys, right here. If Dollar General cannot get back above 240, this is the same concept of Costco, right? Costco broke this key level, 515. Dollar General broke this key level, 240. I would look for Dollar General to the downside if it rejects 240. That's what I'd look for. Previous support into resistance. Very clear. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. I'm not looking at Microsoft. I'm not looking at Google. They have earnings today. There is no reason to be looking at technicals on those stocks. Trade them intraday if you want, but you do not swing trade something based off technicals on Google and Microsoft today. Technicals do not mean anything when it comes to future or when it comes to earnings. Let me take a look at the big red that you guys are talking about on the Nasdaq. Oh, yeah. I see it. I see it. There it is. Boom. MOAS. Oh, snow? Yeah, I forgot about snow. My bad. Let me go snow. Snow. What's snow up to? Snow is just doing exactly what we talked about every single day on this stream, really, to be quite honest. Snow is rejecting this high, right? It rejected the high that we talked about. It broke below this 152, and it is now trying to find support at this 138, 140. If you drop this 138, 140, rejection, rejection, support, 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 and if it breaks, downside. I want everyone to just take a second and just think about the amount of times on a live stream that I say previous support into resistance or resistance into support or a retest of this level, right? You guys, I want to make sure that you guys, I like you guys coming here, but make sure you guys see this with me, right? If you come to the live stream, maybe have your charts up next to mine. I want to make sure you're learning, you're learning what we're looking at, because looking at snow here, you should sort of understand, if you've been here long enough, what I'm looking at, right? You should be able to say, oh, this is definitely something Vince is looking at. He's definitely looking at the previous rejection points that were support that we are trading back into now, right? So this is very important, right? If snow breaks this level, if it breaks this previous demand right here, you know that that downside is going to start to come in. And you don't have much support below here, right? You can see we don't have much till around 115. So I want to make sure you're sort of doing this alongside of me. I think that's the best way to do this. Don't just watch me and, just in and out, let the information go in and out. Get the chart up, sort of look at it with me, learn from it. And so that at one point, I don't want to see you not come to the live stream, but I want to make it to where you can, already see these things. Like when you see Amazon up on the schedule, I want you to be able to say, I know exactly what he's looking at. I know he's looking at this level, and then you can confirm it with when I do the analysis. So, all right, guys, that's all I got. I hope you have a great day. Please remember, earnings after hours. You got Google, Microsoft, big stuff, guys, and it's going to be market moving. So please be careful on that side. Don't YOLO your account through earnings. Maybe if you want to trade a 0.5%, a 0.1%, if you really want to do something, maybe you can give it a shot. But don't put a large percent of your portfolio in earnings, guys. It's not worth it. It's a loser's game. If you want to play the loser's game, then you guys can be my guest. But I would hope you don't do that. All right, guys, have a great day. If you want to trade live with me every day, down in below it says trade live with me. If you want to get technicals on a daily basis in this live stream, go down below. It says free technicals. Within that free technicals group, you can upgrade for $5 a month to get technical analysis on individual stocks. Have a great day. Press that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.